Good morning, everybody, and welcome. Happy Friday. Today is September 29th, 2023, and welcome to Simply Cards by Kathi. I'm Kathi Ondas. Today, I want to show you how to use the bigger Deckled circles. You know, when the Deckled circles came out, I ordered them right away, and they have some really big circles. The largest is, I believe, 5 3/4 inches. And you think, what the heck am I going to do with that? Well, I'm going to show you what to do, some options with the larger circles. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm so happy you found me. And if you're with me live or catching the replay, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it and love sharing with all of you. Now I'm going to flip the camera over in just a minute, but I do want to tell you, sit back, relax, watch the video. I will have a link in my YouTube description by 6 o'clock this evening. That'll have a downloadable PDF, and there'll be supplies, measurements, and instructions for how to recreate the cards. Good morning, Mary. Thank you for joining me. So let's stop talking and flip this camera down. Okay, these are the deckled circle deckled circles, and these are in the new mini catalog. And the interesting thing about these is they're pretty easy to miss if you don't see where they are. So I'm going to show you that. But today, I mean, look at the size of some of these circles. This largest one is 5 3/4 inches. And then we have this one that is just a little bit smaller than that. And this is what we are using today for our card, is this larger circle. So let me set this off to the side. We're also going to be using the All Around Wishes bundle. This is a cling stamp set. I am using only 2 greetings from it, but what we are going to use is the snowflake die cut. Really pretty. Now hang with me through to the end. I will show you 2 other cards. One that isn't using this stamp set, made with what we're using today. So I want to bring this in real quick and just show you where things are. Let me flip this over one more. We are using the Christmas Tidings embossing folder, and that's on page 33. And then this Wishes All Around bundle is on page 35. Now here's where the deckled circles are. They're up in a corner on page 63. So very easy to bypass. So just to let you know, all of these are from the mini catalog. Good morning, Maria. Thank you for joining. So let's get started. So we're going to start off with a piece of Lost Lagoon. This is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And we're going to go ahead and I'm just going to burnish this with my bone folder. And I just want this because it is a joy fold. Now, you've seen me do joy folds before, but not with a circle. Good morning, Becky. Now, a joy fold is a card within a card. It's a smaller card within a card. So, the circle is going to be our second card. Now I've cut a piece of basic white and I used eighths. So this is 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. And then we're using a piece, and I love this paper. This is the Snowflake Magic paper. This is also in the catalog. And you get 6 pieces, 3 different designs, 2 of each. This is the one we're using today. This is another one. And then I'm going to show you a card at the end where I used this one. So let's go ahead and we're going to adhere these, and then we're going to get busy using that deckled circle. So we're going to add this to our basic white. And you're just going to have a little bit of a white edge all the way around. And let's see if I can get this on straight. Maybe if I put it straight in front of me, that would make it just a little bit easier. Okay, that looks pretty good. Okay, and we're going to adhere this to the front of our card. So it starts off just like you would normally make a card. And we're going to go ahead. Now, this designer series paper does not have a direction to it. So it's going to allow us to decide if we want to make our card landscape or portrait. All right, so here's that. We're going to set this off to the side. Really pretty paper. Now, I said we were going to use the larger deckled circle. So let me bring that in here. Now, this is 5 3/4 inches. So you're going to need a 6 by 6 piece of cardstock. I am using Pretty Peacock because I thought it would look really striking with this. And we're going to need to have a fold in this. Now, I'm going to tell you, I've tried this 2 different ways. One was to cut my circle and then put the fold in it. It didn't work so well. So what I recommend is that you have your square and then do your score line at 3 inches. If you have a 6 by 6 piece, your score line at 3 inches is going to put it in half. Okay, so here we go. Now, with our deckled circle, I'm going to cut this out just like this. And you're just going to place it, and you really truly are eyeballing half of a circle. But I'm going to just put that in there, and I'm going to bring in my cut and emboss machine. And I know this is close up for you, but I'm just going to place this in here. Now, I'm sorry, I think this is the second largest one that I had pulled out. So I want to just get it in there, and we're going to go ahead and run this through. Sorry about that pop. Now we're going to leave this here a minute because we are going to use it to emboss. So the next is I want to emboss a piece of, let's move that out of the way. I want to emboss the front of this. And let's open this up. You have this beautiful circle. And I want to emboss the front because I want to be able to have my card open up, have this open up, and then you have an inside. You can also do it landscape, just like this, where you have the inside. So let's go ahead, and we're going to bring in our Christmas Tidings embossing folder. Good morning, Cynthia. Good morning, Deb and Fran and Maria. Thank you for joining. Now, because the embossing folder has some script on it or words on it, you want to decide which way you want to use this before you emboss. Because if you're making a landscape card and you emboss this way, your larger words are going to be running the wrong way. So decide what you want. And I think I'm going to do this card. I think we're going to do this one this way. So I want this front part embossed. So what I'm going to do is bring this over here. Let's see. I guess we are going to have to do it landscape, and I'm going to show you why in a minute. So I'm going to take this right up to my fold line. And with this embossing folder, the words come right to the edge, so it works well. And this is not a 3D embossing folder. It is just a regular one. So we're going to use our plate number 1 and both number 3 plates. And I'm going to show you how I do this. I am going to slide this in beyond, so I'm not running this all the way through. I don't want to catch that paper. And I'm layering and staggering my plates. And I'm just going to run it through. There we go. Okay, let's see what we have. Look at how pretty that is. It caught the word Christmas and joyful and holly. I just love that embossing folder. So now we're ready to kind of put our card together. So we're going to have this flip down, and this is going to join right up in here. Now you do have enough room here to use the largest of the circles, which you could have easily done. You can also add designer series paper down in here if you'd like to, or even a piece of basic white so that you can write something in here. But I'm going to go ahead and adhere this. So let's do that now. And I want to make sure that I get it right along the edge here. So here's what I found works best for me, is if I go ahead and line this up. Let me show you this. Right where it needs to be. And then I take a hold of this and lay this down. It's in place. And you now can adhere your glue right around the circle. Put it back down, give it a tap so that you know it's right on the fold, and give it a good press. Oh, what did I do wrong? I adhered it to the wrong side. I glued it down on the wrong side, everybody. Let's grab another piece. All right, let's try this again. I'm going to cut another piece of 6 by 6. Sorry about that. So busy talking, I wasn't paying attention. So, all right. Let's score this at 3. All right. That looks better. Okay, and we're going to recut this. So here is our die. Best laid plans. I am watching my grandson today, and he's in there watching TV, so I'm sorry about the distraction. So we're going to put this in here and move this all the way to the end, because with that 6, this large a die, you're going to be right at your clearance area for this. All right, let's do this again. Okay, All right. There's our circle that you can see. And now we're just going to go ahead and do our embossing again. So with looking at my card, I want it to open like this. So we're going to do this side. So let's go ahead and line it right up along the edge here. Okay. And now we can run it back through. So again, I'm going to run it through. Oh, not turning here. Let's see why it's not turning. All right. Let's run this through. This isn't going as smooth, ladies, as I was hoping it would today. And it's always when you're the most organized that happens. Something goes wrong. Okay, so let's try this again. All right, so we have our card base. And we're going to go ahead, and this is going to open like this. So we're going to go ahead and adhere this on the back side here. So I'm going to line this up. And we're going to adhere this to this. This is actually a quick card when you don't make boo-boos. Okay, let's go ahead and we're going to adhere this to here. Give it a good press. This is going to pull down. So here's your card within the card. Okay, so we are going to take and we're going to decorate this with that wreath that I showed you with the snowflakes. Now I did do a lot of this ahead of time, so I wanted to show you. I cut this out of basic white cardstock and I cut 4 of them. I want this to be able to lay on here, and I do want it to hang off a little bit just to kind of add some decor to that. So I wanted it to be more stable. Now you don't have to do that, but this isn't something I can pop up with dimensionals. So for me, I just wanted to layer it. So this is 3 layers. And then this layer I actually did with the adhesive tape. So the others I glued. Now I did it with the adhesive tape to save time when I was showing all of you, but actually in another one I'm going to show you, I actually glued all the wreaths together. I found it really easy to do that. So I'm just going to pull this off, and we're going to come in here and we're just going to lay this down. Just find your starting point, and you're going to work your way around. And it lays down and lines up so easily that you have this beautiful wreath that has some dimension to it. It just kind of goes right into place there. So here's our wreath. Now I'm going to glue this down, but I'm not going to glue it down on the bottom. We have one little piece here that didn't push out. There we go. Because I don't want it to stick here. So what I'm going to do is going to take my fine tip glue and I'm going to bring in my silicone mat. And I'm just going to do this all the way around to these bottom 3. And then we can always add. So I'm just going to add a little bit of glue in certain spots. I'm using the spots where, like in the center, and it's easy to do, and on the very tips because they're rounded. And it allows me to easily, with this needle point bottle, to be able to add glue without actually getting it all over. Okay, just a couple more. Okay, let's go with that. Now these are the parts that don't have it. So let's move this out of the way, and now we're ready to stick this on. Okay, now for my outside, and that looks pretty good there. For the outside, I thought I would decorate it with some iridescent rhinestones. So let's bring in our pick tool, and I'm going to use the small ones. So I'm going to pull this up, and let's just place them around at random. I put one, but then I'm going to take the small ones and I'm going to put them every other snowflake right in the center. To add some bling or some glimmer to it. And I think that's it. So there's our front. Now for the inside, remember I said you could add a piece of white to write down in here? Well, when I cut these snowflakes, I had all these centers that I really didn't know what I was going to do with. So I decided to just stamp my greeting on this, and this is from the Wishes All Around, and I'm just going to glue that on there. I got a little bit of glue on here. And I do have a glue eraser, so it'll be easy to take that off. So actually, here's our card. That's all there is to doing it. And you have a joy fold with your deckled circles. Now let me move this out of the way, and I want to bring in 2 more for you. So this is another one where I use the exact same designer series paper, but just another sheet of it. I used the foil with the snowflakes. Now, my suggestion to you with using foil is don't use glue with it. And I know you're getting a glare from that. Use your tape runner or use 2-sided tape, because if you get glue on the foil, it's hard to get it off. And then on the inside, this was white. I just stamped my greetings in here. Now I have one more showing you with the merriest trees. And this one I did in cherry cobbler with mossy meadow, because I used a piece of the paper that was just released, and the name escapes me. It was just released last week, or in the beginning of September. And this is heat embossed with white, and on the inside I just stamped my greeting. So you could spruce these up by adding some designer series paper, but I really liked it just this way. So let me bring you back to me. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I'm sorry about the goof up, but that's crafting. It happens. So I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Do something fun. Take care of yourself. I will be back with you on Tuesday at 11 a.m. Have a great weekend, everybody.